physicality of the PBA. That's something that everyone's commenting on and a lot of fans like, okay? And I understand the formula behind it, okay? The physicality is the Filipino style of play. That's the first thing I noticed when I got to the country is, man, these guys aren't as big as some of the other guys that I've played against, but they're very, very physical. It's a rough game. I understand that. So that bringing back the Filipino brand of basketball, I'm all for that. I like that. And not only that is the emotion of it. Everyone loves a good grudge match, right? And this is, if one player doesn't like another player, that's tune in, and they're matched up against each other, that's reason for me to tune in. What's going to happen? If I know one team doesn't like another team, and the team reciprocates that, that's awesome. I want to see that because they're going to go at it hard. If one coach doesn't like the other coach and the coach doesn't like the other coach, they don't like each other, they're going to compete hard. That's must-see TV. So I get it. Everyone loves a grudge match. Even in violent sports like boxing or mixed martial arts, if it's just a professional match, that's fun to watch. You like the physical confrontation of it, correct? But it's even better if you know one guy doesn't like if the opponents do not like each other. If they talk a little trash before, that makes it a little bit more exciting because now these guys are emotionally involved. It means something. Someone's going to have to eat crow and someone's going to celebrate. That's why we like the physicality. That's why we like grudge matches. And there's also been a big officiating. So people like the officiating when there's less calls, I guess. So that's one good thing that has happened. The PBA has adjusted a little bit. There's been multiple brush-ups, even a couple fights to start this All-Filipino, to start this new season. People seem to like that. Also, another thing that's happened is the game length. That was something when I was at ESPN 5. They complained about, the game is too long. The game is too long. Fans don't like it when it's that long. Cut it shorter, cut it shorter, cut it shorter. My response was, well, make it a 40-minute game. And the feedback I got was, that's for amateurs. No, well, not really. Most of the world plays 40-minute games. The EuroLeague, 40-minute games. FIBA games, 40-minute games. Australia, they play 40-minute games. Every league in Europe, 40-minute game. So nobody wanted to do that. They looked down on that. 40-minute. Here's the thing. A 2.5-hour game should be, a 48-minute game should be 2.5 hours. A 40-minute game is 2 hours. That's just, watch an NBA game. NBA game goes 2.5 hours. Why? Because it's 48 minutes. That's just the way that it is. So now the game times are under 2 hours now in the PBA. The commercials aren't as long, and they aren't calling as much. So the media company is happy. I think the fans are happy. And I'm just wondering if that's for the right reasons. Like, I don't mind the physicality. I was a physical player myself. I've been involved in many confrontations and brush-ups, and when things got chippy, that spices up the game a little bit for sure. I think most players don't mind it getting physical, but it's also a basketball game. I think the fans like the physicality of it, but the players like for you to actually enforce the rules of basketball. And that's what I like. Like, for me personally, basketball is about, as much as it's about competition, heart, teamwork, there's also a certain amount of skill involved. There's beauty in having a skill set and displaying that skill set against competition, against defense. Well, if you give the defensive the advantage by allowing them to foul more and it not be called, that takes away a little bit of the beauty of the game. That takes away a little bit of the skill of the game. That's what I don't like. That's my personal preference, but I also understand that the Filipino style of basketball is a little bit rougher than, say, other versions in other parts of the world. So there's got to be there's always a yin and a yang. There's got to be a nice balance there. And what I am concerned about is everyone's like excited about the physicality, and people, like I said, people like the emotional conflict involved, but I don't like fights. I think that is I just don't like fights. Like if I want to watch fighting, I watch MMA. I like MMA. I'm a big fan. I watch boxing. I like that. I watch jiu-jitsu. I've watched jiu-jitsu matches. I've watched wrestling matches. Like, I like fighting. I don't mind watching fighting. but that's where I watch my fighting. I don't like watching fighting during basketball. Also, as a player, when I played, like if I'm gonna get in a fight, okay, like as an adult, we shouldn't be fighting, but fight, okay, let's get in a fight. But I don't want to be trying to play basketball and then I get into a fight. I didn't like that as a player. So if there are fights, I think there needs to be strict penalties in place. And the reason, like, and if you do like fighting when you're watching basketball, I think you have to question or think about why you like that. Why do you like that? Why do you like fights in basketball? And if the PBA is going to allow that, what kind of league are they promoting? And what does that say? What message is that sending to up and coming players, the youth coming up? So, and if you like that, even if as a fan, if you like that, what message is that to your kids or to the youth coming up? So there's a lot of things to consider. I'm not saying it's wrong for you to like that, but you should sit down and think, why do I like that? Because there are outlets to watch fighting. There's lots of them. So there's outlets for that. But why do you like it when you watch basketball? I don't know. Like I'm all for the spirit of competition. I like a good grudge match as much as anybody else. I like physicality. I like competition. But when people are starting to throw punches, when people are starting to cheap shot other players, I don't like that. And then when people like it, I don't like that either, because I've always said that I don't know how much of that will lead to long-term success. It's good for now. But again, if you like fighting in basketball, to me as a player, I try to define, who did I want to be as a basketball player? What did I want to be known for? How did I want to conduct myself? Well, if I was just a guy that cheap shot at guys when guys weren't looking, or tried to hurt other guys, or tried to get guys in fights, why would I do that? Why would I do that? It doesn't make sense to me. I understand that there are guys in the league, guys find their niche and being a dirty player, but I don't know if that should be rewarded. And I don't see suspensions being handed out. I'm not sure what the fines were, but physicality is great, but there's a line somewhere, and we got to know what that line is. And if that line is crossed, I feel there should be penalties. So that's all I want to say. That's a new thing that other people have been talking about, physicality, and that's good. I like to see the eyeballs on there. I like the grudge matches, but the line somewhere, let's find it, and then let's act accordingly. Thanks for watching. You can subscribe to my channel by clicking on my face right here. Don't forget to check out the important links in the description below, and for more Staying Major, click on the video over there. We'll see you next time.